I think animals changed the sport of powerlifting by putting out there to everyone that they're going to back the sport and signing powerlifters. They just brought a lot of attention to the sport.
In some circles, especially in powerlifting specifically, he's revered in this way that he's a rock star in that subculture.
I get asked this question a million times a day. I get hit up all day long. How can I get sponsored? What are you guys looking for?
You're about to see a guy pull 905 pounds. Last time this was attempted and pulled in a meet, it's been over 20 years ago.
We want to portray bodybuilding and weightlifting and powerlifting in a way that's dignified, that's honorable, but then at the same time is real and honest.
An animal is something you can go up and watch happen.
I could work my ass to my contract, and I'd still be a part of it.
Brotherhood is huge, and I think it's huge especially at Raw Unity. So a lot of the top guys in the country, we all come do this meet.
You know, the one thing that makes Animal stand out above all the other companies, no matter how long it might take to see some of the brothers, whether it's the lifters, whether it's the guys from marketing, the guys at corporate, you know, if we see each other at the Olympia or at the Cage or even this weekend at Raw Unity, it's like homecoming, you know, it's like we never skipped a beat.
It's not like any other sports because it is a brotherhood. No matter how you look at it, it's a brotherhood. Everybody wants to improve themselves, and you cannot be mad at anybody that wants to improve themselves. And when you say that, it's an automatic brotherhood or just a family type environment in powerlifting, period. It brings people together from all facets of life, and you can't help but love it. The people that's on the outside, they see it as a swinging contest, but when they actually go to a meet or actually go to a place where people train, they actually see, it opens up their eyes to the brotherhood, the actual family that these gyms and these meets create. It's nothing like it.
Powerlifting is like the most unique sport to me because of the fact that, you know, like we say we're just chasing numbers. I mean, like for me, I want to break 2,000 pounds. Like I'd like to hit 2,100 in my life, but right now I want to break 2,000 pounds. I want to get that out of the way. Am I going to do it tomorrow? Probably not. You know, but that's what I want to chase. That's what I want to do. And for a lot of powerlifters, it's objective like that. It's that goal. It's that one number.
The brotherhood in powerlifting, it's different than any other sport that I've witnessed. I mean, if you have two people competing against each other, they still motivate each other to do better. They'll give them tips and motivate them before their lifts, such as Dan Green at Raw Unity. He broke Sam Bird's all-time 220 no-rep squat record. And I looked over and Sam Bird was helping him out, giving him motivation, making sure the judges and handlers got the number correct. And after Dan Green broke the record, Sam Bird clapped, gave him a hug. It just shows that in powerlifting, a lot of people, they are supportive of each other. And they're not out to watch each other do bad, I should say.
Being rushed into the meet, coming in late and rushing through my warm-ups and lifts, it just kind of threw me off. But then I had other people that were around that I didn't know, just met them for the first time, gave me some words of inspiration, said keep your head up, keep pushing through it. and they were like, we're here to help you, you know, and then you can do it. So I just kept my head up and kept pushing.
Like most guys don't just say, you know, I want to beat him, I want to beat him. If powerlifters set their goal on that, then they're just going to choose the meets with the least amount of competition. Or if you win a medal because some guy bombed out or hurt himself in the middle of a competition, then, you know, that's, you know, sticking an 8-ball like that, you don't feel good. There's no sense of accomplishment if you win like that.
So we've been knowing each other for 3, 4, 5 years, some of us. We all have a bond. I think a lot of us message each other, you know, whether it's Facebook, text message. And the great thing about these guys is, you know, we out there, and whether you side by side with somebody in your weight class competing with you, we all about it, man, rooting the next guy on.
I have a real good relationship with Garrett. It started off some years back before the whole animal thing. Everybody, he lives in New Orleans. I'm right there in Mississippi, so it's about an hour and a half away. And we got together, and things just clicked. We know exactly what each other like in training and things like that. But all in all, being from the South and the only 2, you know, lifters from the South with animal, we automatically say, hey, we gotta show it up. We gotta do it up. But that, all in all, it's a big family.
There's a big brotherhood in powerlifting. Like just where I started at the local Y, just random powerlifters took me into their crew, helped me become what I am today. Without Jay and Willie, I wouldn't be as strong as I was now. And even just people I've met through meets, like Cash for Clash about a year or 2 ago. I only met Garrett once, but I flew down to New Orleans to do a meet, and he was picking me up from my hotel, driving me to the meet and back. I barely knew the guy, and he was right there helping me out. So there's a big brotherhood in powerlifting. Everybody's trying to see you push forward and grow. Everybody wants to see the sport grow. People get stronger. It's one of the best parts about it.
You know, like, I might see GDs or a natural guy, like the last time I saw him was maybe the last cage last year, but it's like when I walk in and see them, it's like we just saw each other a couple of weeks ago or something, you know? And that's what's really cool about Animal Brotherhood, is that no matter what, you see a guy on the streets, you see a guy in the gym wearing the shirt, there's a special connection that nobody can top off.
I started lifting weights back in summer 2007, and I really didn't have any goals going in. I just went to the YMCA and worked out, did whatever I wanted. And I discovered forums on the internet, such as the Animal Forum, and I signed up there pretty quickly, and I learned a lot what I know today from there.
I actually started powerlifting in March of 2011. Saw a few friends actually training, and I asked, what are you guys training for? They're like, upcoming powerlifting meet. So I was like, hey, I want to try it out. So I started training with them, and then did my first powerlifting meet, and I think I totaled like 1,200 and something, around there in the 1,200s. And I liked it, so I just continued with the sport. Did a few meets and started, you know, improving in the sport. So I just continued with it, and I like the competitive nature of it. Actually helps you. If you're able to apply to other aspects of life, you're able to become a better person.
I started training when I was 14. Just started in high school, just trying to get big, trying to get jacked. And I ended up meeting a couple guys at the local Y that were into powerlifting, and I was lucky enough. They were nice guys and just started me off young. I started training powerlifting when I was 16 and just kept at it. Started off in the single ply gear because there was no raw fits back then, so we put on the gear. I'd compete maybe once, twice a year. And then around 2009, WPC came out with a raw fit. So right away we were big into raw with training. So we jumped right into that, and I'd say from about then, this is when I really found a passion for powerlifting.
As soon as I decided I didn't want to do bobsled anymore, I was looking for something, and I found powerlifting. And I didn't like powerlifting at first, but as soon as Raw powerlifting came about, because I didn't know anything about the suits or the knee wraps, I just didn't understand it, so I couldn't relate to it. So when I'm at the gym and these guys are talking about, you know, I bench 500 pounds, but then I see them in the gym and they're training with 300 and it's not looking easy, I didn't quite understand it. And I didn't want to have to learn about all this equipment. So when I found out about raw lifting, it kind of got me excited because it's what I like to do most. When I was playing football, when I was doing bobsleigh, one of the things I liked the most was actually just training. Training is what I love, and it's really cool because in powerlifting, you know, the most sport-specific thing you can do is the sport itself. So when you're powerlifting, you're doing the sport right away. So I did my first meet, and I was hooked from there on.
I started powerlifting when I was 15, about 9th grade, and ever since I started, I knew, you know, this is what I wanted to do. From the very beginning, I said to myself, hey, I want to be the strongest person pound for pound. That was what I wanted from the beginning. And then I learned about Lamar Gant, heard about his record, and that's another one that was like, I'm gonna get that from day one. And the obstacles that I had to go through is just from the beginning. Typically, people just looking at me weird when they see me in the gym, you know, and saying, you know, but what are you doing here, you know, because I'm the size that I am. So that's pretty much, you know, my journey is just fighting the obstacles of people's expectations of what I should be able to do compared to what I actually do.
So obviously I really want to do really well. So when I won my first Raw Unity, I kind of realized that my goals could be so much higher. And that is probably what started screwing me a little bit. Because I was kind of reaching, or I was striving beyond my reach. And that is when things start becoming a big issue.
2005 was probably my most severe injury that I had. I did a strongman contest down in Venice, California, and we had a 950-pound yoke, and my core wasn't strong. You know, I was lifting, but I think I was more focused on like making my belt tight and thinking that it's going to get me through the lifts. But it ended up not being enough because I herniated a disc. And that was just awful, like taking steps and feeling like a jolt of lightning on the right side of my body, you know. And got a cortisone shot one day to get that fixed up. And, you know, from that day, that was rough. Like I wanted to bite on a 2x4 while the doctor was giving me a cortisone shot.
The worst thing in my life that's happened was my grandmother's death. She died of cancer in May 2013. And once we found out, I knew right away that she wouldn't have that long to live after that. So it was about 8 months that she lived. The day she found out she had cancer, she kind of pulled me aside and almost like gave me the final words on her deathbed when she found out. You can compare it to that. And she just told me to make sure I took care of my mother and my grandpa. And she also told me that she wanted me to be the best powerlifter I could be. She knew that's what I really liked in life, and I feel like trying to do any less would be kind of an insult.
I managed to stay pretty injury-free in my powerlifting training, but there's always sticking points for everybody. You get stuck at a bench, been stuck at certain numbers of benches for years, and you just got to sit back, think, rethink your training, and just keep pushing forward, which is one of the fun parts about this lifting, just getting stuck and trying to refigure it out. And there's lots of headaches too, you know, trying to balance jobs and still trying to push your lifting. You work an 8-hour day at a hard job and you still got to hit the gym, still got to put your 2-3 hours, whatever you could get in, get it done in the gym, and still go home, sleep, eat, do it all over again.
Right now I'm trying to heal from a rotator cuff injury that I'm still suffering from, and it really hurts like when I bench. So I try to drive through that pain and just taking the necessary steps I need to do towards recovery. I've also had other injuries, like in my previous meet where I did full power. I actually pulled a hamstring muscle and a back muscle, but then knowing that it was the last lift of the day, which was the deadlift, I actually had to push through that pain and hit the deadlift number I wanted, which was a PR also, which was 665, in order to get a complete total of 1725.
Things come the most when you're kind of striving to not strive, or letting things happen, letting the strength build as it comes. But a lot of the time, my biggest problem is I feel like if I'm more intense, or just because I'm passionate about it, that I'll be okay. But instead, you know, I have this little nagging injury, and I think it'll be okay, just push through it. And injuries just get worse like that. So I would say the biggest obstacle for me has just been not listening to myself and taking it easy, or listening to the wrong part of myself and letting the little devil on my shoulder say, nah, go ahead.
certified sportsmanship, who's a badass dude, who's an untangible lifter, who had a great day. And we give him a 1-year sponsorship with his custom animal singlet. We just want to recognize the great lifter at Raw. And today's man is DJ Whitehead. Congratulations, brother.
Do your best. Go out there and put it, and having the people behind you motivating that you see year after year, they pushing their best and you pushing your best. Everyone pushes each other, and it brings out the best in the competition when you have high-level athletes all on one platform. It's going to bring out the best in you. If it don't, you're in the wrong sport.